Our topic today will be gender inequality, participation of women in sports, and I am very happy to introduce our panelists today. The first panelist will be Ruby. She is a representative from the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Okay.
With us today. Next, beside me is Nitya. She is a very famous and professional taekwondo coach. On my right is Kanmani, a budding female cricketer. And in the end there is Darshini, who is a lecturer from UKM, and she is a master in sports law. So, as I've mentioned earlier, our topic today will be gender inequality, which basically focuses more on the participation of women in sports. And let's ask our panelists today what they think about it. And my first question here today will be directed straight to you, Ms. Ruby. May I know, as far as you are concerned, what is the current status of discrimination in sports?
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to explain that under the Anti-Discrimination Act, United Kingdom, 1975, discrimination may be either direct or indirect in the form. Direct means treating an individual less favorably than an individual of the other sex will be treated. While indirect means employers who impose requirements or conditions which seem to be applied equally to both sexes, but that actually result in members of one sex is not able to comply with. And we can see direct sex discrimination in the case of James versus Eslake Borough Council, where a 63-year-old man is not allowed by council to its swimming pool. And there is no defense for any employer who argues that there is no deliberate prejudice behind the discriminatory conduct unless Section 44 can be made out. Now I would like to explain that what is Section 44. Section 44 is a defense for employer, which a woman can't participate in a game that only involving competitors of one sex, which is meant because there is difference between stamina, physical strength, and physique of the average man and average woman. There are 3 stages in order to determine whether the sex discrimination is lawful or not. First of all, we need to clarify whether is the applicant seeking to participate or compete in a sport or game. And the second, is she a competitor and not acting as a coach and referee. And last will be, is she competing in the same event as a man by playing with them or against them. If the answer is yes, then Section 44 is not applied and not provide a defense against discriminatory treatment. However, Section 44 is limited to situations where a woman wants to compete against a man, and this is quite a big discrimination in the for now.
So, Ms. Ruby, that would be the current status of discrimination itself. Tell me about it, Ms. Kanmani. Being a budding a cricketer who is a female also, what is the participation of Malaysian women itself in sports? What do you think about it?
First of all, good morning everyone, and thank you for having me here today. So, answering to your question, in Malaysia, participation of women in sports is still low, and according to what Ruby said earlier, for professional sports women, they are equally liable for any legal obligations or any contractual relations. So, these sports organizers should really avoid saying that they are not equal to any legal obligations or contractual relations or not. And the Women's Sports Committee was established under the structure of OCM, as we all know, to acknowledge the importance of women's participation in sports. And the aim of these things is because they want to create awareness in public so that women will participate more in sports, especially in Malaysia. So, in Malaysia, Malaysian sports, women are still not very broad-minded. They're still narrow-minded. The main reason is because of their parents. Their parents basically discouraging them to be more specific, especially Malay parents. Like you know the issue of Farah and
Yeah.
our Malaysian athlete was being criticized for the leotard attire she wore in the competition. So this shows that how much Malaysian discriminates the women taking part in a competition, especially competition like swimming and all these things. So, but current situation shows that Malaysians are now like quite broad-minded. Like our Nike has introduced some pro-hijab product, which shows that they are making some effort to overcome the gender inequality problem. So, our Malaysia also has amended Article 82 of Federal Constitution, which prohibits all form of gender discrimination. So, for me, all these things are a very big effort, especially in Malaysia. It is a good foundation. So that's all from.
So basically, you're trying to say that it is very restricted, but anyway, people are trying to be a
Yeah.
little bit more broad. Okay, thank you so much for your opinion, Ms. Kanmani. All right, I'll straight away go to Ms. Nitya here. Can you tell me what is the position of? I'm very interested to know this, as this is a very important thing that I think most of us as a Malaysian should know. What is the position of pregnant women itself in sports?
Good morning, Ms. Hazmi. Thank you for having me here. And I would start off with stating the position of United States, where it's very clear that discrimination on the basis of pregnancy, childbirth, and everything. So what I personally feel is that pregnant women should be treated equally as all the other participants, but there should be a restriction on certain grounds, right? There's this Women's Sports Foundation which was set up. It actually urges educational institutions, national sports governing bodies and all to follow the criteria given. So it's always asked when is it appropriate or necessary for a female athlete to discontinue sports and things like that. But what the American College of Gynecologists came up is that most form of exercise are safe during pregnancy. However, some types of exercise involve heavy physical activities such as wrestling, taekwondo and things like that. That should be avoided because it may affect the fetus. And certain sports such as golf and all, it doesn't actually require much physical activity, so you don't have to use it doesn't affect your fetus and all. So I feel that this should be divided equally and not all sports should be restricted.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So yeah, back to you, Ms. Cynthia. So how about this is like generally stated by you, the position of pregnant women themselves. But how about the position of pregnant sports women in Malaysia, in the context of Malaysia? Are they doing good, or are they still not in a good position? What do you think?
Like what Ms. Kanmani said earlier, it was like it's a custom that Malaysian women stop participating in sports during pregnancy. So because what they perceive is that it might affect their fetus and all, but they haven't have the clear idea that not all sports would affect the baby. So there has also not been any reported cases in Malaysia, but if this prolongs, it might fall under constitutional law as it's under discrimination. So there are few reported cases, which is Nur Fadila and also the case of Beatrice, where they were actually discriminated in their workplace because they were pregnant.
Yeah, okay, right.
And even in that cases, it was hard for them to like actually win. What more in sports? Because in workplace, you don't affect your child and your fetus and all. So even if they are discriminating the women in sports, I think it's normal for them to win. So and another thing in this Nur Fadila and the case of Beatrice as well. Nur Fadila's case actually set an example, a stepping stone, because they protected the woman's rights there. Like they gave her, she won the case. So I feel that if any issues relating sports arises, they could refer to that case under thought and also within.
So you're trying to say that the position of pregnant women, as far as sports is concerned in Malaysia, is not really that good. That's what you're trying to say. All right. Okay. I have a question to you, Mr. Shni. Having known that you are a lecturer who is a master in sports law, what's your opinion about the application of tortious liability, considering the fact that there is no exact or proper legislation for women in sports in Malaysia?
First of all, good morning everyone. Today, first of all, as we all know, the right of equal treatment is recognized by national law and also international law, international human rights instruments. This global jurisprudence means that both sameness and differentness nations are included in a substantive equality standard. Thus, in the context of the sport, the application of the equality and are with the equal outcomes. So there's no specific legal discrimination in our country like we have in Australia and England, as we said just now. But the concept of discrimination is general, but in international in nature, and thus the application of common law counters can be adopted if necessary. Okay, as Ruby said, I would like to explain a bit more about the direct discrimination and also indirect discrimination. So direct discrimination occurs when a person is treated less favorably. For example, where a professional sportswoman was refused license because of on the ground of her sex. Her sex was the principal reason for the unequal treatment in the basis of this. So harassment and abuse may also be included under the definition of direct discrimination. So indirect discrimination also may occur if the person received less favorable treatment also, but of another comparable person. So on a prohibited ground. It normally happens if a provision or practice or requirement is applied equally to one individual but operates in such a way where only a substantial group is able to comply with it and not to others' practice or requirement. A simple example is where the requirement is to join a sports team to reach a maximum height or strength. That's so in this case, the application of the human rights we can see in the case of Fernley versus Boxing Authority of New South Wales. So I guess in this case,
Thank you, Ms. Darshini. So, if I may open the floor to any one of you to answer, what do you think, having said that all these opinion from all the four of you saying that sports in Malaysia for women is not in a very good position, do you think this will get better from the time, or do you think that it may get worse? What is your opinion about this? Any of you?
Personally, I think it would get better. Like for example, indoor games like badminton are more frequent among Malaysians and also worldwide. So this shows that we need to get better if we give a good exposure to them.
And another thing regarding pregnancy as well, currently the medical knowledge has been improving along the years and people are more exposed to the medical knowledge and also the risk. So if they are exposed more, they would actually know their position of joining the sport.
So we can identify now that the biggest problem in sports in Malaysia for women itself is the exposure that is lacking in our society, right? So which means when there is more exposure about this and when there is proper guidance towards women in sports in Malaysia, it will definitely take a very big leap and it will get better. That's what we can conclude from what we have discussed today. So I would like to thank every one of you for being here today. Thank you so much for sharing your opinions and also giving us a lot of information and inputs regarding this gender inequality in sports itself. Thank you very much.